From the moment the opening music swelled through the ballroom, viewers tuning into the BBC's flagship dance show sensed that something about the 2025 Strictly Come Dancing Grand Final was quietly unmistakably different. The lights were brighter than ever, the applause thunderous, the choreography polished to near perfection, and yet, beneath the glitter and ceremony, a subtle absence hung in the air. As the final unfolded, fans quickly noticed what had been missing all evening. Only 3 couples were competing for the coveted Glitterball trophy. In a show defined by tradition and ritual, this was no small deviation. The Strictly final has long been a 4-couple affair, a celebratory crescendo in which diversity of style, personality, and journey collide in one last joyous contest. To see just 3 finalists take to the floor felt unusual, even unsettling, for many longtime viewers. A celebration that began with grandeur. The final week of the BBC One programme's 23rd series opened in unapologetically celebratory fashion. Professional dancers flooded the ballroom floor for a sweeping group routine, set to an orchestral rendition of Dario G's Sunshine. The choice of music, expansive, it was not merely an opening number but a statement. This was a night designed to honor legacy as much as competition. Nostalgic, euphoric, felt deliberate. Arms reached skyward in unison, spins unfolded in cascading waves, and lifts were executed with cinematic precision. The choreography leaned into spectacle rather than subtlety. The orchestra's live swell added emotional weight, turning the ballroom into something closer to a theatrical stage than a television studio. It was a reminder of Strictly's enduring ability to transform Saturday night entertainment into something approaching ritual. The performance set the tone for what promised to be an emotional, memorable evening, one that would look back as much as it looked forward. The finalists take their place as the applause faded. The 3 finalists, Karen Carney, George Clark, and Amber Davies, were dramatically lowered onto the dance floor atop a raised platform. The staging was deliberate and symbolic, each contestant elevated, spotlighted, momentarily isolated in their own pool of light before the competition resumed. For Karen Carney, the journey had been one of steady growth and quiet determination. George Clark brought charisma and creative flair, while Amber Davies carried the confidence of a performer who understood both stagecraft and vulnerability. Together, they represented 3 distinct narratives, and yet, their shared presence only underscored the absence of a fourth. Moments later, hosts Tess Daly and Claudia Winkleman made their own entrance into the iconic ballroom. Returning to their traditional walk down the famous steps, the duo were accompanied by professional dancers Olga Shkoryanec and Johannes Radebe, a pairing that felt both celebratory and symbolic. It was, unmistakably, a historic moment. The end of an era for Tess and Claudia. The presenting duo were met with a standing ovation from the studio audience, an audience that included Vernon Kay. The applause was prolonged, heartfelt, and heavy with meaning. Tess Daly's husband, watching from the crowd. This was not merely appreciation for the final night of competition, it was gratitude for a presenting partnership that has defined Strictly Come Dancing for over a decade. Back in October, Tess and Claudia had confirmed that they would be stepping away from the BBC dancing competition after more than 10 years at the helm. While their final appearance together would come later in the form of a pre-recorded festive special airing on Christmas Day, the 2025 Grand Final marked their last live episode as co-hosts. Throughout the night, there was a sense that every exchange, every shared glance, every perfectly timed aside carried extra weight. Their chemistry, built on warmth, wit, and an almost telepathic understanding, had become a cornerstone of the show. For many viewers, it was impossible to imagine Strictly without them. A competition shadowed by absence yet as the competition itself got underway. With 3 high-stakes routines standing between the finalists and the title of Strictly Champions, many viewers found their thoughts drifting elsewhere. Shouldn't there have been another couple here? The answer, of course, lay in the turbulent journey of the 2025 series. A string of withdrawals throughout the season had gradually reshaped the competition, ultimately leading producers to scrap the traditional 4-couple final. While the decision was understandable, even unavoidable, it did little to quell the sense of loss felt by fans. Strictly is as much about what might have been as what unfolds on screen. Each week builds emotional investment, not just in outcomes but in possibilities. When those possibilities are abruptly cut short, the absence can feel louder than any applause. Social media erupts. We were robbed. As the final progressed, social media quickly became an outlet for that collective sense of disappointment. Viewers took to X, Instagram, and other platforms to voice what many were feeling. "I am missing Louis and Katya right about now," wrote one fan. "Still gutted we won't see Louis and Katya's couple's choice tonight," another added. "We were robbed of seeing that creep routine again." Others echoed the sentiment with increasing frustration. "We should be watching Louis and Katya's showdance right now." The comments poured in, not as an attack on the finalists but as an expression of grief for dances that would never be performed, moments that would never exist. The dances that never were. As the night wore on, the conversation shifted from anger to reflection. Fans began reminiscing about routines that might have graced the final ballroom floor. "As good as the finalists are, I'm still upset we never got a Louis and Katya Argentine tango," one viewer wrote. Another commented, "The way Louis and Katya would be performing tonight if it was a 4-person final." Perhaps most poignantly. One fan summed up the mood, still can't get over Louis and Katya not competing in the final. I still remember her and Joe's unforgettable final in 2018. Their dances proved we've been robbed of a brilliant show dance. Maybe they can do one on the tour. It was not merely nostalgia speaking, but recognition of Strictly's unique power, the ability to create shared cultural memories through dance. A spectacle, and a sense of what might have been. There was no denying that the 2025 Grand Final delivered spectacle. The routines were polished, the production values impeccable, the emotion genuine. Each finalist danced not only for the trophy but for closure, for the culmination of months of physical and emotional effort. And yet, for many viewers, the night remained tinged with a quiet sense of incompleteness. This was not a failure of the show, nor of its contestants. Rather, it was a reminder that Strictly Come Dancing is built on balance, between competition and celebration, between structure and surprise. The power of absence in live television. In many ways, the reaction to the 2025 final speaks to the enduring strength of the program. When that balance shifts, even slightly, audiences feel it. Only a show so deeply woven into the fabric of British television could provoke such passionate response to what was missing rather than what was present. The empty space left by an absent couple became a focal point, a silent partner in the final itself. It reminded viewers that Strictly is not just about winning, but about journeys completed, stories told in full, and finales that feel earned. A final that will be remembered, for more than one reason, as the glitter settled and the final credits rolled. The 2025 Strictly Come Dancing Grand Final took its place in the show's long history, memorable not only for its performances and farewells, but for the questions it left behind. What does a perfect final look like? How much do tradition and expectation shape our enjoyment? And can absence, in its own way, be as powerful as presence? For many viewers, the answer lay somewhere between applause and silence, in the lingering feeling that, while the show delivered brilliance and star power, it also left behind a quiet echo of what might have been.